beings are demons.
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
So I mean, let's start off with the banger as always. With the limited information I have about this video, this is supposedly a suicidal drone following a street vendor in Ukraine. Luckily, he survived, but if you think that's crazy, take a look at this next one.
Look at that face. A 7-foot-tall robot with a goat head and glowing eyes. Oh, and it can also carry a chainsaw. I'm sure nothing feels weird or demonic about this whatsoever. A company called Satris is building a robot called 3 Halves, and they're saying it's designed to keep people out of harm's way by going into places that are too dangerous for humans. Things like wildfires and collapsing buildings. Now just imagine being stuck in a wildfire and this thing shows up and says, "I'm here to save you." Because why does it need a goat head and horns? Well, people were asking the same question and the company responded with this. They said the horns have wide-angle cameras in them which allow us to see the positions of the legs and arms. But that still doesn't explain why it needs to look like that. Also, because of the size of the horns, the robot can't fit through standard American-sized doorways. Also, 3 Halves doesn't have any hands. It has a quick disconnect wrist system. It can swap out tools like a chainsaw or a drill. And I took this screenshot from their own website and it literally says this robot is more dangerous than it looks. But don't worry, because if you were ever in a situation where you need to stop it, they show you its weak points in case you need to do so. Now, why would this company put out a manual on how to stop it? At some point, you have to stop asking whether they could have designed it differently and start asking why they didn't. They expect people to trust AI and robots. Then they build a 7-foot-tall goat-headed machine with a chainsaw. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
The eyes never lie, Chico. I mean, yeah, let's just make it look like the Baphomet and just paint it totally black. Oh, and let's give it a chainsaw.
You know those flock cameras that have been popping up all over the US, right? Do not, under any circumstances, point a high-powered green laser at the flock cameras. This cannon will permanently damage and or disable the cameras and require them to be replaced and cost the company money. So please, under no circumstances, do this.
So for this next one, I mean, I'm pretty convinced it's AI, but I'm also pretty convinced that it's not. I mean, AI is coming to a point where it's indiscernible, but what a coinky-dink. Weird stuff is happening all over the world at the same time.
Wow, coincidence.
Guys, I'm not saying this is real. But what is that? Even the scream when she screams. That's raw emotion. The baby crying genuinely gives me goosebumps. What is this? Guys, there are things happening. There are things happening. We need to be aware. If you're out there, be safe, be careful. But guys, this is not normal. Now this could be another distraction, and I guess we'll never know. We will never know until we see it with our own eyes. But look, just look at it. Look at the person running as well. This is why AI was invented.
I don't know anymore.
Seen this video?
The people that watch scary movies mystify me. I didn't understand it when I wasn't born again. I didn't. I'm like, you want to watch that? Like that terrifying. Here's the worst thing about it. That movie didn't appear. It isn't like all of a sudden someone drove up and there was a movie sitting there and they were like, oh, we should take this to theaters and put it. It came out of somebody's mind. Every single dark, twisted thing that people watch, it came out of something dark and twisted. You really wonder where it came from and what was behind it? I'm telling you right now, it wasn't the Spirit of God. It was a demon. And now you're going to sit in front of a screen and let what a demon inspired a person to write and a person to act out fill your eyes and fill your mind and make its way into your heart? I wouldn't do that.
Me and my friends will eat 4 to 5 grams of mushrooms and we'll put on a scary movie and
I mean, it is fun.
So my son Xavier is dead, killed by the woke mind virus. I was essentially tricked into signing documents for one of my older boys, Xavier.
I medically transitioned at the age of 16, and it basically saved my life.
Your father, the best, no?
Sorry?
The best, your father.
Okay.
You know, I was told, Xavier might commit suicide if he.
That was a lie right from the outset.
Incredibly evil, and I agree with you that people that have been promoting this should go to prison. So I was tricked into doing this, it wasn't explained to me that puberty blockers are actually just sterilization drugs. Anyway. And so I lost my son, essentially.
do you really think this stuff is just completely random? I think this is basically sacrificial elements of what it takes to be in the cult. Because why are so many celebrities dealing with transitioning children at the end of the day? Dwayne Wade, who's a famous basketball player, Gabriel Union, I think is his wife, and she's pretty renowned. And then you have Megan Fox. You know, like after all these years, I had the biggest crush on her. But now, I mean, she kind of looks like a man sometimes.
If you think Elon has a secret agenda, wait till you see his mom. The story begins with her posing in front of a horned figure, which they claim is a centaur, but this gives major Baphomet imagery, which makes sense when you take into account Elon's recent Halloween costume with a Baphomet symbol on his chest plain as day. It gets way darker though. Then you have this, horn-like extensions, gold ceremonial styling, a clear play on pagan priestess or ritual goddess aesthetic. And again, this horned headpiece, which also puts off Baphomet and dark priestess energy. This is where it connects back to Elon. Listen to how he just described the future of Neuralink.
And then later this year, we expect to do our first implant for what we call blind sight. Those are what I might call like sort of Jesus level sort of technologies.
Miracles.
Miracles, yes.
And that is where this ties together. You have his mom pushing repeated occult-coded imagery. Then you have Elon talking about God, Christianity, and Jesus-like miracles. I'm not saying that technology that helps people is evil. But when you combine the occult symbolism with AI, transhumanism, and start comparing your technology to Jesus, Christians need discernment. Jesus warned that in the last days, deception would come with signs and wonders. Things so impressive that even believers would need to be awake. But Jesus didn't need a chip to open blind eyes, and he is king already. There's a full breakdown on my YouTube channel.
And that's why Freemasons used the checkered board floor, because it represents a state of consciousness. It's on the floor symbolizing the ground level awareness, base consciousness, a mind only aware of the five senses. It represents being at the beginning of your spiritual journey, where the mind is fractured, divided, filled with multiple inner voices, shadows and personalities that must be confronted and unified. The black and white squares represented divided thinking, me versus you, right versus wrong, judging others internally, and a state of consciousness that gets you nowhere. That is a state we must rise from the checkerboard floor, ascending towards the all-seeing singular eye, unity of mind, and alignment with the higher self. The checkerboard floor also represents extracting wisdom from light and dark, good and bad circumstances in our lives. We have to extract wisdom and transform ourselves from this. Don't get it twisted, some Freemasons are evil, but the symbolism itself is neutral, because knowledge is not good or evil, it's how you use it. And that's why understanding symbols matter, and that's exactly what the Book of Symbolism is here to teach.
I honestly think that's the realest, healthiest way to think about it. It's not the fact that numerology and certain symbolism is evil, it's the fact that evil people use it to their advantage.
Can anybody explain to me why is Kylie Jenner and Meta, out of all companies, collabing on a They Live poster? And for those that don't know what They Lived is, it's a 1988 film talking about an alien secret society that rules the planet. And you can only see them with the glasses on. And what I'm trying to comprehend and understand is, what are they trying to tell us? We're always watching? That's an interesting choice of words, since we got shit like the flock cameras popping up everywhere, and even cameras popping up inside of grocery stores, like mass surveillance. Let's not forget, in the movie They Live, one of the main messages was the subliminals that they put in the TVs and the billboards. The only people with the special glasses can see. Now just remember, they have to tell us what's going on.
You know exactly what they're trying to say. This isn't some oblivious symbolism. They're basically telling you, it's a surveillance state. This is 1984. Put on these glasses so you can unintentionally snitch on each other.
The elites have made people worship the same thing that they worship. Time. Saturn. Father Time. Because the elites don't want to die. They've built their kingdom here on Earth. If they die, they have to reset. Which means they do everything they can to remain alive in the physical body. Because they love the 3D reality. They love the pleasures of this world and the power that they have. But when they die, they have none of that. So they do everything they can to preserve their time. Time is your true currency. That's why you say you spend time.
As you can see, this is the code running our simulation. And these are all names of real people, see? It's us. They're taunting us at CERN.
I don't know if you guys know this, but the Saturn conspiracy, where they basically say Saturn is the real name of Satan, and they tie in Saturn with basically the ruler of time, physicality, limitation, and that's what they're describing. They also tie in the black cube theory to it. We'll get into it in another video, but I want you to take a look at this kid. When I was his age, I wasn't even relatively close to the truth that he's at, and it's honestly impressive.
Saturn is not a planet. He's the one running this entire prison. Saturn is the fallen one, the same being who most people call Satan. He was cast down and built this fake dome and the reincarnation loop in the black cube to trap souls and harvest their energy forever. His goal is simple: keep every soul cycling, keep them blind, and keep them calling on the wrong name so they never reach Yahuwah. The 13 families serve him directly. They are the bloodlines that sold themselves to Saturn for power, wealth, control over the flat plane. Their goal is to enforce the system, control the governments, banks, media, schools, and keep the rest of us asleep. The Black Sun Order is the Saturn's inner priesthood. They are the ones who guard the ice wall and rewrite the books and change the names and make sure the loop never stops. The ones in charge of the Black Sun is the highest bloodline of the Rothschild. They only answer to Saturn. Why is all of this happening? Because Saturn wanted the throne. He lost. Now he's using this short season to harvest as many souls as possible before Yahuwah's lights finish cracking the dome. The 13 families. Rothschild, the top of the pyramid, control the money system in the Black Sun Order. Number 2, Rockefellers, built the modern school system and oil monopoly to keep people obedient. Number 3, Asteroid, old money and real estate influence over major cities. Number 4, Bundy, deep control inside government and intelligence. Number 5, Collins, occult bloodlines and specialized in rituals and media programming. Number 6, chemicals, weapons, and industrial control is all run by DuPont. Number 7, Freeman, banking and hidden financial networks. Number 8, Kennedy, public face in America while the real power stays past the ice wall. Number 9, Eastern Arm, control over Asia and major trade routes is Lee. Number 10, Onassis, shipping and global transport, moving the resources. Number 11, Reynolds, tobacco and pharmaceutical influence, keep the population sick and addicted. Number 12, Van Doon, European aristocracy, still tied to the old bloodline. Number 13, Warburg, banking partners with the Rothschild, help run the financial cage. These families don't serve countries, they serve Saturn directly. Drop Yahweh if you're rejecting the system, we rise.
That was incredibly impressive. But the craziest part is I learned that all from David Icke first. Like in the past 10 years, I've heard David Icke say all of this in his book. And now we have kids talking about it. Now for this next video, for all you 33rd degree Masons, I'm sure you have this beautiful antiquity at home.
Check this shit out again, because I can't say this enough. I want to see have a #1 crossover scene. Yeah, have a #1 rhythmic
Listen, unless Nelly has like demonic Tourette's, all that symbolism with throwing up the horns, his eyes rolling to the back of the head, that's not normal behavior.
I don't want to do this. Okay, no problem. Am I like forced to like leave or something?
What a sweetheart.
Are you a part of the Illuminati?
Yes. No, I'm not. Did that come up as a lie when I said yes?
Yes, that's true.
Oh, see? That means I'm not. You said, are you a part of the Illuminati? And I said yes.
And then you changed it.
And then I said no. But I said, I'm just kidding.
Don't try to work the system.
Oh my god, I'm so ditzy. So I don't want to get in any trouble saying this, but I mean, Michelle Obama is either a man or a reptilian lizard. Or both.
Just cannot turn back now, right? We have come so far, but we have so much more to do.
Put that on YouTube.
And if we want to keep on moving forward, then we need to work our hearts out for
too.
the man that I have the pleasure of introducing here today.
Hey, just stop bouncing on the damn bed.
Are you ready? It is my privilege to introduce my husband and our president, President Barack.
I bet you regular TV won't look like that. What channel is that?
Both.
I want to say hi.
You want to say hi?
That's it. I just want to say hi. How you doing? Good. I was on the set of Boston Legal with you. I remember working with you. Great time.
Oh, good.
I mean, I don't know how the hell you do it. You look young.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the hair and everything.
Yeah.
Is it the babies? I mean, I need the secret. You know what I'm saying?
Drinking.
It's crazy. That's what I'm saying.
Preferably if the person's alive. Suck on like on the neck.
Keeps you young, right?
Keeps you young.
This guy's pushing 100. He looks younger than these out here. I love this guy.
I gotta move on.
Hey, It's been a pleasure.
Right.
It's been a pleasure. John Bravo, by the way, screenwriter and producer and director.
Working for Diddy for 6 years trained me to have to be perfect.
Working for Diddy?
Absolutely.
I love Diddy. You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy.
He expects.
Is he a good guy?
I don't want to answer that
Oh,
question.
wow. I think he's a good guy. I'm going to stick up for him.
Save me. I can't die, my boo-boo's about to have my baby. I think it's too late for praying. Hold up, her voice spoke to me and it slowly started saying,
Bring your lifestyle to me, I'll make it better.
and how long will I live?
Eternal life and forever.
Or will I be the G that I was?
I'll make your life better than you can imagine or even dreamed of. So relax your soul, let me take control. Close your eyes, my soul.
My eyes are closed.
Said to me, take your clothes off. And I said no. And I left. And they told me they were gonna burn all my music. And they didn't stop. They didn't stop asking me, and then I just froze and I don't even remember. And I will not say his name. I understand this Me Too movement. I understand that some people feel really comfortable with this, and I do not. I do not ever want to face that person again.
Say what you want about Lady Gaga. I mean, she's undeniably talented, but you also have to put into perspective, a lot of these people made the wrong decision, and they actually are good people inherently, but they're keeping up their end of the bargain because they don't want the repercussions that follow it. I don't know who the hell that is, but I know who she was referencing.
Specific words that are considered cussing are truly cursing.
They're evocations of demons. There's a demon named Faku. What's that sound like? Chant his name like 3 times, which is why they want you to use that word as a noun, an adjective, and a verb in the same sentence. Like, demons hear you. They want to show up. It's a spirit of perversion that you're invoking. So like a lot of times if you say the F word a lot, guess what? You're gonna have a whole lot of perversion in your life. You probably watch porn, you're probably surrounded by lust. Yeah, it's because you say the F word.
Parasites considered demonic?
Absolutely, are you kidding? Parasites are like a physical embodiment of demons, I think. I question whether parasites themselves are demons or if they're just simple organisms that are easily possessed by demons. So like I wonder between the two, to be completely honest. There is a text that you're not supposed to read that's not technically biblical. It's called the Essene Gospels of Jesus, and there's a lot in there that's kind of witchy woo-woo, probably not good. But there is a story in there where Jesus draws a tapeworm out of a man and says, "Behold the head of Satan," and then he crushes it with 2 rocks. And then, he draws it out with warm milk that he holds by the man's mouth after he's fasted. And then he crushes this parasite and the man is healed. So pretty interesting, actually. It's a pretty fascinating story. I don't know if it's how valid it is though, okay? But it's interesting.
We are all fucking guilty.
Conspiracy theory you believe is 100% true. That arresting the people in Jeffrey Epstein's little black book would bring this world to a grinding halt because of how many disgusting rich people there are in power. We all know this is true, but man, those files must be really, really bad. There must be a lot of people in there because now they're trying to scare us with the whole hantavirus and Ebola thing and aliens. No one is secretly in charge from the shadows. The politicians we have are actually the leaders of the world and are genuinely what people voted for. There are few things scarier than that. Somebody left a comment and I thought that this was really scary and interesting. Yeah, the comic writer Alan Moore was asked years ago to write a comic about the history of conspiracy theories, and after doing research, this is what he said. The main thing that I learned about conspiracy theories is that conspiracy theorists believe in a conspiracy because that is more comforting. The truth of what the world is that it is actually chaotic. The truth is that it is not the Illuminati or the Jewish banking conspiracy or the gray alien theory. The truth is far more frightening. Nobody is in control. the world is rudderless. The food we have been eating in the United States is a huge part of the mental illness going on today. That is also 100% true. Anytime after like a weekend of just like eating a bunch of crap, I always feel so horrible mentally. That's because it's poison. That the public school system sucks because it was deliberately designed to fail the kids, forcing them to shuffle off to the factories once their dreams are crushed at graduation. I saw another one saying too that the way that they set up schools now kind of resembles prison. So they're like getting ready for kids to fail and end up in prison. We are being observed by intelligences not from this planet every day. That dragons were real. They appear in multiple cultures and places in history before communication was widely spread. I like to believe in this one too. Okay, and this last one is my favorite. The existence of the uncanny valley confirms there was once an apex predator that preyed upon the human race. That one is just terrifying to think about.
When you look at public freakouts, especially on YouTube, and I mean they are fun, I search them all the time, but they are mainly in fast food joints.
Then I realize what it is. There's a man in back of this place. He's the one who's doing it. I can see him through the wall. I hope that I never see that face ever outside the grave.
This song was written by the devil.
I'm from outer space. I got Milky Way for blood, evolution in my veins. I'm gone, I've been far away. I'm illuminated now, I make a move, start the waves. I've been dreaming about flying for a long time. I had a vision from the birds, they want a gold sign. Artificially intelligent away. I'm your future, past and present, I'm a fine line. Yeah, I'm a missing link of this illusion. I am not really here, I'm an intrusion. I don't swim or sink, I just float. I don't need gravity, I just need growth. When I move, it's an earthquake rumble. I will never ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble.
You know, right at the end, mentioned Jericho's walls falling down, mentions the Bible. You have to understand, this is the devil telling you stuff. The devil speaking through somebody. You have to understand, if these people, the Bible says you're either for God or against God. So if you're not for God and you're getting these lyrics and you're getting these things from wherever you're obtaining them from, you're obtaining them from the evil one, because he wants you to spew it out to get people to speak it and sing it so it becomes a reality. It's a law and a principle in the spiritual realm. If you don't know the Bible, you just don't know. I seem crazy to you, and that's okay, because you're just as crazy to be dumb enough to listen to the worldly, trashy music that they give you, doing open demonic rituals on stage, looking horrific, doing all their Illuminati symbols and everything, and you think that's normal, but when I uncover the truth, it's not as normal. I want you to think about that and let me know what else I should do in the comments.
Agreed, but that was fire, bruh. So we all know the legend Jim Carrey, one of the funniest actors on the planet, but I don't really find this very funny.
It's kind of a scary time for me because of something that happened when I was about 7 years old. I was trying to get to sleep. I was in my bed and I was thinking, you know, this is Christmas. I was so excited I couldn't sleep, right? Santa's coming. Then I heard something on the roof. I heard clomping around on the roof. I heard little tiny footsteps. You know, I'm thinking, you know, the footsteps of elves. Of course, it wasn't. It was the footsteps of tiny aliens, grays, I guess they call them in the UFO community. I was taken aboard a ship and subjected to several very, very painful experiments. And I have physical evidence to prove it. You mean you can prove that you, because that's the I was marked by the aliens. I'm not kidding around here. I was marked by aliens. Can we get the camera to zoom in? I will show you. You see that right there?
Yes, yes.
That is their mark. I'm sorry, Jay. I'm sorry.
I can see that, how that would affect your cryptic.
I made that whole thing up.
What?
I'm sorry. I guess I just wanted to seem interesting. I guess there's There's a real danger of that on this show.
But there's a pressure.
Well, yeah, people come out and they've run out of anecdotes, you know, and they just start making stuff up.
Yeah.
Like that Neil Armstrong guy. Have you seen him on the talk shows?
Neil Armstrong, you mean the first man to walk on the moon?
Talk about a fish story.
Yeah.
Man, and they're buying it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Look closely at this scene.
Candy?
You already know if I'm going to take it?
Wouldn't be much of an oracle if I didn't.
But if you already know, how can I make a choice?
Because you didn't come here to make the choice. You've already made it. You're here to try to understand why we.
At the very beginning, the divine was everything, but it could not see itself. The absolute cannot contemplate itself as long as it remains one and without limits, because there is nothing in front of it, no gaze, no mirror. So in order to know itself, it had to divide itself. It became denser, it became matter, it fragmented itself into a multitude of consciousnesses. And each one of these consciousnesses is you, living beings. You are the divine made into a point, so that it could finally look at itself from within and experience itself. You accepted to become dense, to become flesh, to forget your origin. Because without that forgetting, there would be no true experience. And it is in that forgetting that you became lost, taking the illusion of matter as the only reality, when it is nothing more than the mirror the divine gave itself to contemplate itself through you. So listen to what the oracle says to Neo, because it is not just a movie line, it is a key. She does not ask him to choose. She tells him that he has already chosen, and that he only came to understand why. That is the secret few people grasp the first time. You believe you decide in the moment. But the real decision has already been made, deeper, farther away, in the depths of your being, where your intuition knows before you do. What you later call your logic, your reasons, is only the clothing you place over a choice that has already been made. That is why the true transformation of your life happens first, within, in the invisible depths, long before it appears on the outside. And every time you listen to that voice that knows, that ancient wisdom buried within you, you do not only change your own path, you touch the very fabric of reality, that consciousness we all share. The day the drop stops searching for the ocean, it understands that it had always contained it. Peace and blessings.
You gotta watch this.
Why does the pride flag have 6 colors while God's rainbow has 7? You know, call me a conspiracy theorist, but I personally don't believe in coincidences. On a biblical term, 6 means human imperfection, weakness, and incompletion. This is not a coincidence. I ask myself, why is Pride Month on June? I go and I search, and I find that June is the 6th month. I search up pride parades near me, and the date so happens to fall on June 6th. I put all of these things together. 6 colors, 6th month, the 6th day. That would mean it's 666. And if you dig a little deeper, what does 666 mean? What does it symbolize? Failure, sin, ultimate rebellion against God. Well, what is that? That's the mark of the beast. Now, I am not saying that this is the mark of the beast. I'm not saying this is the ultimate sin against God. I'm saying that this is very spiritual and this is very weird.
He's definitely onto something. It is not a coincidence that in the middle of the words pride and month is demon. It's not a coincidence that every single number lines up with the mark of the beast or the number of man. And he went on to say he doesn't believe that it's the ultimate mark of the beast because we know that that'll be on the hand or the forehead. But it is significant, and it absolutely is 100% spiritual. If you want to see more content like this, then make sure you follow now.
That one blew my mind. And I mean, like, we're seeing kids make these correlations. And if you were here for the last video, you remember us going through 666 being the number of man, literally. The equation of protons, neutrons, and electrons that create up basically all organic life on this planet. Then we tie it in with the phone, Apple selling the first phone for $666, and now phones being inseparable from us, basically being an extra limb. And then look at the agenda. They are feminizing men, and they are making women believe that they are masculine, independent creatures, and it's causing this friction between us. But honestly, to have a child especially be confused about its gender and having these people influence them into taking hormone blockers and basically messing up their entire lives when they're just trying to figure themselves out in the world. I gotta be honest, nothing is more evil than the agenda going on today where we're wasting our conversation over common sense. At the end of the day, there are only two genders, but to confuse kids over their sexual preference at such a young age, it really does not get any more demonic than that.
Is it true that Aleister Crowley knew what he was doing? After all, he did summon an entity, and he was not alone. He had help from a medium by the name of Rhodey Minor. We actually don't even know what she looks like. This is just the closest image I can find that's the most reliable, because there are a lot of other images that show up that say it's her, and then when you Google search them with AI or whatever, turns out it's not her. So this faceless woman assisted Aleister Crowley when summoning Lamb, you know, the depiction of the thing that we know now today as the gray alien. But yeah, looking at Alamantra working, because that was the ritual that Aleister Crowley used to summon Lamb. You can find stories about these gray aliens that go back thousands of years. One of the stories is known as the Apocalypse of John, also known as the Book of Revelation. We have had about 70 years of pop culture referencing gray aliens to get us accustomed to the idea of them as they get closer to us. But Apostle John did not have anything to compare what he saw in his visions to. He couldn't say Paul. He couldn't say Roger from American Dad. He couldn't compare him to anything. So what did he say? Evil spirits that look like frogs. Yeah. I would say Aleister Crowley knew exactly what he was doing.
To pay attention to this Trump interview that disappeared from the internet is going to make a lot of people fucking rich. I remember seeing this a long time ago. It took me a long time to find this interview. You're going to want to save this and share it to all your friends. By now, you already know we're back at war with Iran. Oil prices are going fucking crazy again. But I'm going to play that clip for you right now so you can see why this all matters.
Maybe if I was president, I'd secretly work with countries like Iran while the entire world thinks that we are at war. Then I could make the United States the powerhouse of oil with the Strategic American Oil Fund.
You heard it. Trump was talking about a Strategic American Oil Fund, which would help reverse the spiraling oil crisis going on. That's why there's a 97% chance now that Trump is going to announce SAOF, the Strategic American Oil Fund, on August 21st. And you already know that wasn't enough. I started looking around and I found that Trump and BlackRock are announcing the Strategic American Oil Fund on August 21st. They're going to fix this oil shit. Started looking around. I saw this deleted White House tweet on the internet that already has a website saying that they're going to announce the Strategic American Oil Fund. SAOF.live. And when I went to SAOF.live, it took me right to the website that confirmed everything. And there's already a button that lets you buy it. You could buy it already on Phantom Wallet and Coinbase. I'm a boomer, so I went to Coinbase and I bought the Strategic American Oil Fund. I loaded up on it because it's still sitting at a fraction of a penny. It's super easy to get into this. Just go to SAOF.live. That's the easiest way to make sure you're buying the correct one. Check out the Strategic American Oil Fund. Visit SAOF.live.
Obviously, don't take that as financial advice, but if you do have financial advice, especially regarding this, please leave it in the comments.
Okay. He also said the government altered the frequency of music to control and influence your minds. He said it's not the government, it's the elite. This guy got started talking about some heavy stuff. Yeah. History books are false. The history they teach you in school is nothing but lies. Okay. I mean, I have to escape the system that controls the world. They want to kill me for my catalog. One day the truth will come out. I reported them, so they falsely accuse me. They want to kill me, and they will say I died because of an overdose. He said that.
I remember.
He said that.
Yep.
Okay. And then what ends up happening? So this is why look, if you're a Michael fan, or if you're you like musical biopics, this is actually a very, very good movie. We want to watch it. Tico gave it a 9.5. He's like, this is a very, very good movie. It's tragic what happens when you make it at that level, and there's typically a guy like him. Remember the story of Serena and Venus Williams? What they called the movie? What they call me Richard?
Yeah,
I don't know what it was called.
King Richard is
King
what it was
Richard.
called.
Yeah,
King Will Smith
Richard
played him, and then he smacked Chris Rock.
They don't really care about us.
This next perspective is one of my favorites because if you look at it in the grand scheme of things, all that exists, we're on this little planet idolizing people that can act, kick a ball through a net, dribble a ball through their legs, and we worship them and idolize them beyond measure. But what do they really do to make this world a better place other than distracting us from our problems slightly?
There is no job worth $2 million a year. That's why they pay athletes these fantastic salaries. I was listening to the radio the other day. They just contracted to pay one player on one team $6 million a year. Can you believe this? And why is that? It's the Roman circus. What does the emperor do when the people become restive, and when the people are asking questions, and when the people don't like the policies of the emperor? He sends them to the circus. He creates a circus. He builds a giant coliseum. And he begins to throw the Christians to the lions. And he has great chariot races and football games and basketball games, all to keep the idiots preoccupied with things that don't mean anything in the scheme of the entire world, so that they don't have the time to learn what the truth is, so they don't ever get smart enough to learn how they're being manipulated, so they don't ever question the emperor. 150 of the most powerful men and women in the world can meet in secret in Baden-Baden, Germany, and plot the fate of billions, and nobody even cares about it. But 6 football players go to lunch together, and it's in the headlines across the country. You have a reflection of the society in which that exists.
Blame the Swifties for the current state of the world. So, have you guys ever had a thought about something, maybe a product, maybe something else, but then all of a sudden your algorithm feeds it to you? Well, I think this may be the culprit.
Apple's patent describes what you're seeing not as a wireless headphone, but as a biosensing signal device, and notes that, quote, brain activity can be monitored using electrodes placed on the scalp of a user. If this patent is to be taken seriously, and we presume it should be, Apple plans to monitor the brain activity of more than 100 million AirPod users.
I guess MK Ultra never really ended, and it's instead been upgraded into your AirPods. This is an official patent submitted by Apple to include EEG signal tracking within their new AirPod structure. EEG is how your brainwaves are monitored, so say you're in a heightened state of awareness, or maybe you're in a really bad mood. That means that Apple AirPods would be able to sense this and would potentially even be able to influence it, because who's to say they can also give information as well as receive it. For those of you that don't know what MK Ultra is, this was actually an experiment done in the 50s and 60s by the CIA in America, and they were basically looking at how they can control people's minds via subconscious reprogramming. You can get into your subconscious mind via a variety of things, music and audio being one of them. A huge part of the MK Ultra program was into acoustic neuromodulation, which is essentially how certain frequencies in repetitive sounds can get somebody into a highly impressionable state where their subconscious mind is easily hacked. Once a person is in this brainwave state, anything can be implanted. Thoughts, fears, compliance. Let your mind wander with that one. The difference with that program is it requires heavy machinery and isolated rooms, whereas we willingly put in electrodes into our ear just because what, they play our favorite song. What do you think about this? Is it history repeating itself in another form, or is it just me overthinking?
I mean, I'd rather deal with a tangled wire over government-induced mood swings.
Seen him walking towards me, and it was kind of like he was walking on air.
I mean, that was the first time I saw a human that didn't look real. He just had this aura, like this orange force field around him.
When you stepped on that core with injured, did he have a glow? I swear to God, he had the orange joint.
Have you ever heard of the Michael Jordan theory?
What's the Michael Jordan theory?
Oh my God, this is one of the craziest conspiracies ever. First off, there's this video that's been going viral of Michael Jordan. We're like reaching for a loose ball, right?
That wasn't Michael Jordan out there. It was God disguised as Michael Jordan.
A smile is something special. A ribbon is something rare. So I'll be special and I'll be rare with a smile and a ribbon in my hair.
Here is the founder of Flock Safety describing how he feels about anyone who disagrees with his project.
Terroristic organizations like DFLOC. Primary motivation is chaos. They are closer to Antifa than they are anything else.
It'd be interesting to know where the douchebag factory is that turns out billionaires in t-shirts who run our most powerful companies. Who is that guy? He's a billionaire. Where'd the money come from? Oh, from state and local governments. It's tax dollars. He just described a group called DFLOC as a, quote, terroristic organization. DFLOC is a group that tells you where the flock cameras are. They have a map. They're not for flock cameras or any license plate readers. They think they're an invasion of your privacy. They're dehumanizing. All true, by the way. But what they really do is keep track of where the monitors are. And so providing that information is terrorism, really? So think about what t-shirt douchebag guy is saying. He's saying, we get to know everything about you, but if you want to know anything about their company, you're a terrorist.
Only $45 on Amazon. That's all I got for today. I'll see you guys real soon. I'm going to touch on more surveillance state in the next episode. But until then, I wish you discernment. Be good. Be great. I love you guys. See you soon.